Hey guys, say hi.
Big K and Little D, best friends as you can see, watch us now, we're here to stick around. Back in the day in 1076, the Turks converted, it's a remix! Newly Islamic and traveling far, at that point in time it'd be nice to have a car. Jerusalem in mind, they'd be working hard to find territories and power, but it's taken them some hours. In the 10th century, they fought hard to be fierce and determined, they were all tricked up to be. This is just the beginning, they seem to be winning. Now in 1095, the Turks were out of God, not very far from Noble. They were feeling very hopeful with the Pope on their side and planned for him to guide. Had heaven as a bride, they made a bigger try to get the Muslims out of line. All their plans would soon align. For riches and land, they fought hard, hand in hand. The Crusades were a Christian holy war, yet all they did was cause problems galore. They worked for what they were fighting for. Maybe they didn't know what was in store. The Crusades were the wars to get back the land. They worked for years, but it never went as planned. They went on journeys and traveled as a band. The hurts of the war sure were grand. A few years later, the Crusades finally conquered all the people that died. It's really kind of bonkers to establish Christian rule. They refused to deal with fools, sold them into slavery despite all their bravery. The rest of them went home quickly. 46 to 48 and the crusade took place. They overtook Edessa, now they're down for a chase. They strategized well and planned their attack. All to just get the Muslim land back when given, to get it back and stood together as a pack. That was their demand, all they wanted was their land, and they fought in advance. In 1189 to 92 is where the conflict grew. United by Solidian, they fought in a crew. King Richard captured Acre, introduced them too. They signed a peace treaty, ends the war, woohoo! Everyone was happy, it was kind of a bore. At this point in time, they don't know there's more in store. The Crusades were a Christian holy war, yet all they did was cause problems galore. They worked for what they were fighting for. Maybe they didn't know what was in store. The Crusades were the wars to get back the land. They worked for hundreds of years, but it never went as planned. They went on journeys to get their land back, but they couldn't beat the Turks even with the attack. Many adults and children that were very poor were sent to be soldiers off to the war. And an organized crusade, this caused a big raid. They were forced to fight in battle, this caused a big rattle. As it took a bad turn, many didn't learn. Some were sold as slaves, others put down in their graves. The children wanted to fight, but this just wasn't right. The Crusades were a Christian holy war, yet all they did was cause problems galore. They worked hard for what they were fighting for. Maybe they didn't know what was in store. The Crusades were the wars to get back the land. They worked for hundreds of years, but it never went as planned. They went on journeys to get their land back, but they couldn't beat the Turks even with the attacks. When it all ended, the final crusade was not to be ended. The Muslims came back to fight for their land, but then they broke the treaty, which was not planned. All they wanted was control of the region, and this was their only reason. The crusades were finally done, and trust us, they were not fun. The Reconquista was in 1492. The Christians had hatred for the Muslims and the Jews. As they took back the Muslim lands, they wanted everyone to convert. That was the plan. They used Inquisition to get a powerful use, but the church had lots of power, which made it very loose. They wanted Christianity as their main religion. That was their only mission. The Crusades were a Christian holy war, yet all they did was cause problems galore. They worked hard for what they were fighting for. Maybe they didn't know what was in store. The Crusades were the wars to get back the land. They were for hundreds of years, but it never went as planned. They went on journeys to get their land back, but they couldn't beat the Turks even with the attack. This was the Crusades, all just one big raid. Big K and Little D, out.